We don't really have time to go get nothing. But yeah, so I'm getting ready. Well, I'm already ready. It is Marcello's grandmother's service today. And I think this is gonna be our last full day here. So I was looking this morning. Beautiful out here. Didn't get to utilize the pool. They say got a jacuzzi. Oh, that is the jacuzzi. Oh snap! It's too cold though. But if the temperature is right, but yeah, like I said, just getting ready. Um, I what did we do yesterday? Oh, we drove into Charleston, but by the time we got there late, it wasn't much we could see. We went to what you call the battery, but it was dark. So I'm sure it was really beautiful during the daytime, but at night you can't really see much of anything. And then Marcello was telling us about Splash Island. Today we're just gonna stay in Myrtle Beach, and after the service we're just gonna see what they have here. I know they had something called Family Kingdom or Fun Kingdom or something like that, but I think that's closed. So we're just gonna see what there is to do around Myrtle Beach. There is an art museum, but nobody else ever wants to do that. Money's like, I don't want to do no art museum, but I'm like, it's free, and I'm an artist. I love to go to the museum. I love to check out different museums. So now that we ain't got no money, we're not broke. We just ain't got no money. She might be deciding to go to the museum. But it's cool out here. It's not too cold though. I'm glad something that I had worked out because I didn't have time to pack. I pack like I usually do, throwing clothes that possibly will work into a little. I couldn't even find a duffel bag. It looks like it's a drawstring sack, almost like a dirty clothes sack, but it wasn't dirty. Like I literally just threw clothes into that, and then I got my little boots. Let me show you, cause did not have time to repaint my feet since my cousin's funeral. So the nail polish is chipping. That look a mess. It's cold out here. It's not too cold. You could wear like heels or something like that, but I would need to paint my nails, and I ain't got time for that. So I got on the same dress that I wore to my cousin's service. This is really the dress I bought for my daughter's birthday dinner last year. And I got the little shawl thing. I got my jacket, but my jacket doesn't look dressy like Money say it look like a lumberjack jacket. So I got that in case it's cool, but then once we get into the place, then I'll, take that off. But yeah, so before I left Orlando, it was so crazy, y'all. I couldn't afford my medicine. During my cousin's service, I checked, I started feeling so weird. I told y'all we had a poem, which me and Money need to read it for y'all. But we had a poem that I wrote for my cousin. And when I got up to do it, I just felt like really faint. And I felt sick like that ever since. I checked my sugar and my blood pressure, and everything's fine. So after checking it that one time, my whole medicine bag went missing. I thought I just misplaced it but it ain't been found nowhere. So I'm like, dang, someone would have had to snap it. So the pharmacy, between the pharmacy and the doctor, they put me through so much to get a replacement. So I had went a long time without my medicine and being able to check my sugar, right? So finally, right before I leave to go out of town, because I'm like, if y'all don't get this settled, I'm gonna have to go out of town and go another week without my blood pressure medicine and then not checking my sugar. So that didn't move them. They didn't give no dings. No, they didn't give a jail, I'm sorry, about it. So finally they fix it. But I'm like, dang, I don't have any money. I have zero money to come on this trip. Zero. And I have bills due. But I had to switch everything so that everything would like kind of alter itself from being due right now. But I did have one bill that was unavoidable. It's flex rent, no matter what, whether you pay your rent with flex, because I told y'all what they end up doing to where I couldn't pay my rent. And it was conveniently on the day of my cousin's funeral where I wanted to just go in, pay it real quick, be done. No, it couldn't be that simple. But on the 15th, they were going to draft 14.99, which was going to overdraft my account if I didn't keep that there. If I didn't have that there, I already exhausted a payment. Uh, um, what do you call it? Payday loan. I already exhausted that because of the rent totally being due at the beginning because I couldn't use Flex. I already took a cash advance, right? So I had that was supposed to be due while I was out of town. So I asked them to divert that as far off as they could. So I'm literally robbing Peter to pay Paul, or like I said, robbing Keita to pay Paul. But so all in all, I couldn't borrow no money. All my credit cards are to the max. Matter of fact, a couple of them, well, one of them is over the limit. So I'm like, I have nothing. I have never been to where I have nothing, 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 nothing. So I did my that morning. I'm like, oh, and of course I could have asked my dad. He probably would have gave it to me, but I'm not. I don't want to run to him every time I have problems because I know he has his own problems, right? So me and my daughter and my sister. Oh wait, to even get the medicine, they told me I had to do a video visit, and you got to pay for that. So that took my last at that moment. Only had enough for the copay for the video visit, but they weren't going to prescribe my medicine until I did the visit, which it was so complicated. So I'm like, great, I did all that. Now I can't even afford my prescriptions. So my daughter, she had signed me up for Uber Eats and DoorDash, but she was like, Uber Eats, I think, pays more. That's the kids inside. She was like, Uber Eats pay more, so let's start with that. So we started out about 12 noonish. I think by the time we got everything to go, it might have been one going on two, really. We worked till about 8:30. This thing took me all over town. I don't know how I feel about doing Uber, but I mean it came through when it came through. So after the full day, I had made $41. And most of it was like from tips because like the drive would be like a $2 drive, and I'm like, this is way across town. So, all in all, at the end of the day, and my daughter was like, "You don't have to split it with me. Just we kind of just loaded up and made it a thing, a day, a family day." But glory be to God, I was able to get my medicine. Um, Hopefully soon I can wiggle my way up out of this. Like, it's too much going on. I'm dealing with multiple things, family issues, upon dealing with the added overall layer of debt and lack and not enough, never enough, not enough time to figure out a different plan, not enough money to make it through. So, but I've always made it just barely, just barely. But I know that my God is a God of not just barely enough, right? He's abundant. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. The kids are so loud. But yeah, all in all, everything worked out. I ended up getting the time off from work. Um, I think I've exhausted a lot of my vacation, so I don't know if I'll get a real vacation this year. But just grateful that I am able to take off the time and get paid for it because that would have been something if I didn't. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. It's your girl Cadillac.